You may have heard about China's potential as a global superpower, but did you know that it once held the title of the world's most advanced civilization? From 500 AD to 1500 AD, China stood at the forefront of technology, exploration, philosophy, and culture. While Europe was in the grip of the Middle Ages, China was a hotbed of innovation. In today's video, we'll be exploring the time when China was the world's leader. The Chinese introduced game-changing inventions like gunpowder, papermaking, printing, and the magnetic compass, revolutionizing our world. Join us as we uncover over 1,000 years of China's unparalleled prosperity, stability, and scientific advancement. Without any further delay, let's get started. China's early dynasties. Innovation and advancement. China has a long, rich history of invention and progress. As far back as the Shang Dynasty in 1600 BC, China was leading the world in innovation. The Shang Dynasty saw advancements in bronze metallurgy, allowing them to create intricate bronze vessels and musical instruments. They were also pioneers in silk production and trade. The Zhou Dynasty built upon these achievements, especially in philosophy and science. Confucianism and Taoism arose, promoting harmony and virtue. The Qin and Han dynasties witnessed major improvements in agriculture, including new iron farm tools and the collar harness that made horsepower more efficient. The Han also saw advancements in medicine, astronomy, and technology like the seismograph. The Tang and Song dynasties built on this foundation. Woodblock printing made books more accessible. Gunpowder, the compass, mechanical clocks, and movable type were invented. Astronomers charted the heavens. Doctors performed surgeries and made medical remedies. Engineers developed water mills, paddle boats, and the earliest forms of the blast furnace and parachute. China was the first to develop technologies like cast iron, the fishing reel, and matches. For over 2,000 years, China led the world in philosophy, science, technology, and agriculture. Their immense contributions have endured and continue to shape civilization. The Tang Dynasty, a golden age of philosophy, arts, and trade. The Tang Dynasty from 618 to 907 AD was the golden age of Chinese culture. During this time, China was the world's leader in philosophy, arts, trade, and technology. Philosophy thrived, with Confucianism promoted as the state ideology. Buddhism spread widely, and famous monks like Shang traveled to India, bringing back Buddhist scripture and influencing Tang culture. Taoism also grew popular, emphasizing living in harmony with the natural world. The arts blossomed. Poetry was especially revered, and Tang poets like Li Bei and Du Fu are still renowned today. Painting also peaked, with new techniques for landscape art. Music, dance, and woodblock printing all flourished. Trade expanded over land and sea. The Silk Road linked China to Central Asia and beyond, facilitating the exchange of goods and ideas. Seaports like Guangzhou connected China to Southeast Asia, India, and the Middle East. The Tang economy grew prosperous from taxes on trade and agriculture. The Tang era saw great inventions and advancements in woodblock printing, mechanical engineering, and medicine. The capital Chang'an, today's Xi'an, was the world's largest city, with over 1 million residents at its peak. No wonder the Tang Dynasty is seen as the high point in Chinese civilization. For over 2 centuries, China was the focal point of culture, trade, and technology for all of Asia and the world. The influence of the Tang Golden Age lives on in China today. The Song Dynasty, economic prosperity and scientific discovery. The Song Dynasty in China, from 960 to 1279 AD, was a time of great prosperity and innovation. Science and technology flourished, improving many areas of life for citizens. Economic prosperity. The Song Dynasty saw rapid growth in commerce, trade, and urbanization. Many people moved into cities and a middle class emerged. The government standardized coinage, making trade easier. Improvements in agriculture, like new irrigation systems, led to greater crop yields and food surplus. The Silk Road and maritime trade routes expanded, connecting China to the rest of the world. All of this economic activity resulted in an increased standard of living for many. Scientific advancements. The Song Dynasty was a golden age for science and technology in China. Scholars made progress in medicine, astronomy, cartography, and more. The government funded scientific research, and the first known movable type printing was invented, making books more widely available. Gunpowder and the compass were also developed during this time, revolutionizing warfare and navigation. The magnetic compass allowed ships to explore the sea, and gunpowder was used in cannons and rockets. Mathematics also advanced with discoveries in trigonometry and geometry. The Yuan Dynasty, a dynasty of conquest. The Yuan Dynasty in China was established by the Mongols, who conquered China in the 13th century. Under the rule of Genghis Khan and his sons, the Mongols created the largest land empire in history. The Yuan Dynasty only lasted about 100 years, but it left a lasting impact. The Mongols were formidable warriors and conquered most of Asia and Europe. Genghis Khan first united the tribes of Northeast Asia, then led them to conquer most of Eurasia. The Mongols invaded China in 1211 AD and finally defeated the Shang Dynasty in 1279 AD. They established the Yuan Dynasty with Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson, as the first Yuan emperor. The Mongols were able to conquer China due to their advanced military tactics and weapons like highly mobile cavalry, skilled horseback archers, and catapults that hurled gunpowder bombs. The Shang Dynasty was no match for the brute force of the Mongol horde. Once in control of China, the Mongols transitioned from a tribal confederation to a dynastic empire. They adapted some Chinese customs, but also imposed harsh rules over the Chinese. The Mongols segregated ethnic groups and gave members of their own tribe higher status. They promoted trade along the Silk Road and with Europe, but heavy taxes burdened the Chinese people. The Yuan Dynasty expanded China's borders, but weakened its economy and population. Rebellions arose, and the dynasty fell in 1368 AD. The Mongols left a legacy as one of the world's most powerful empires that connected East and West. Their rule shaped China for generations and still impacts the country's demographics today. The Ming Dynasty, a period of isolation and stability. The Ming Dynasty in China lasted from 1368 to 1644 AD. This era was marked by isolationism, stability, and advancement. After the turmoil of the Yuan Dynasty, the Ming Dynasty represented a period of stability in China. The emperors established a centralized government, and Confucianism was promoted. Society was rigidly hierarchical, with clearly defined social classes and little social mobility. The Great Wall was strengthened, and foreign influences were limited. The Ming emperors enforced strict control over society. People could not change their social class. Confucianism shaped moral values, and the examination system recruited government officials. The Great Wall was rebuilt with stones and bricks to protect from invaders like the Mongols. Advancements and isolation. Culturally and scientifically, China advanced. Porcelain production flourished. Zhang He led naval expeditions to Southeast Asia and Africa, showing off China's power. However, China increasingly isolated itself. Overseas trade and diplomacy were limited. By 1500, the Ming had withdrawn Zhang He's fleet and turned inward. The Ming period represents the peak of pre-modern China. Though inward-looking, China was a prosperous, stable, and culturally rich society under the Ming emperors. The dynasty set the stage for the final imperial dynasty, the Qing. For centuries, China was the most advanced civilization on the planet. They pioneered new technologies, built agricultural wonders, and developed cultural achievements that shaped the world. But ultimately, China turned inward. They stopped exploring and cut themselves off from outside influence. While the rest of the world continued to progress, China stagnated. The story of China's golden age is a reminder of how quickly the tides of history can turn. One day you're on top of the world, and the next you're struggling to keep up. So stay curious. Keep learning. Never stop exploring the world around you. The future belongs to those who seek progress, not those who rest on past glories. China learned that lesson the hard way. Let's make sure we don't make the same mistake. If you enjoyed this video, ensure you subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.